am so excited. When we started on this Be Love journey, we knew that we could not do it if we did not include children. If we want more love in the world, if we want more compassion in the world, we got to start with children. We know that if we want to change the trajectory of the world, it starts with a younger generation. And so we decided to reach out to an awesome children's book author. She's an educator as well. If you have young people, if you're teaching young people, this young lady should be invited to motivate you, to inspire you as you work with young people, or to speak to young people as well. And I'm happy to be co-authoring this book with her, Dr. Kim Johnson. And her illustrator, actually, who's been working with her on many of her children's books, Zoe Ranucci, I think is the last name, but Zoe will get me later and if I didn't say that right. So I want to welcome them right now, because this is an exciting project that will be in the hands of children around the world. We plan on translating it in other languages at some point. So I want to welcome Dr. Kim Johnson and Zoe. Is it Zoe Ranucci?
Yeah, that's right. Zoe Ranucci. Thank you.
Yay! I finally said something right. And yes, be love, be love. Look, you all, we have these shirts. We have what do we call it?
Merch.
We call it merch, gear, or whatever. Please go to thekingcenter.org and don't hesitate to get your merchandise. I'm telling you, you will not regret it. And we got to spread this message. But I'm excited, Dr. Kim and Zoe, with this project. It's going to go far and wide, and I know for me it's so meaningful because, you know, for a long time I've been talking about how change, you know, really starts with the individual. When we have our camp here in Atlanta at the King Center, you know, I tell people, you know, it really starts with you. It starts with you looking in the mirror. I know we want to look out the window at all the problems of the world, but we got to first start with ourselves. And we want children to understand that. And so as co-author of it, why this book for you, Kim?
You know, I think because when you think about where we are right now with our young people, and we are at a profound crisis when it comes to teaching our children what humanity and justice look like. And we always talk about we want people to be more empathetic. We want them to be more caring, but we're not really teaching them how to get there. We talk about it, but how do we get there? How do we get to this love that we're talking about that can truly build a beloved community? And so we need to be able to show children what love should look like in a healthy way. We need to be able to show them what justice is, because we say it, but are we really explaining it in a way that they can take it and grow it? And that's what this is about, growing love.
Yeah, most definitely. And someone who comes, my mother worked in early childhood education, so this has a special place in my heart. But I guess if either one of you could address for us, why precisely, Zoe, if you want to start, why precisely is it important to communicate this ethic of love to the next generation?
I wasn't expecting you to go to me. It's very important to reach all the kids. And I think what's cool about this is, even through me being involved, is getting to children in my circle and in all generations and everybody. I'm going to pass it on to Kim.
Zoe is telling you, I'm an illustrator. Keep me in my lane. Right. Kim is the educator. So educate us, Kim. Come on and educate. You educate through illustration.
Okay, so oxymoronically, we have one thing and done something totally opposite. And when we look at our young people and how we really want them to move forward, you know, and Dr. King, I want to give you your kudos, because when you and I started this conversation probably about 10 years ago now, you told me, you said these words, you said, you cannot merely just Google it, go on the internet. You have to really understand what this thing is. And you were so right. And I learned so much just being around you about what a beloved community looks like, based on the teachings of your father and your mother. So that's poured into our lives. And what we've got to make sure is that legacy can continue so that our kids can understand it in a 21st century terminology. And so that the language makes sense to the kids that we're dealing with today, because we're not going to be able to teach kids in the 21st century like we taught them in the 40s, 50s, and even before that, because the world has changed tremendously. Yeah. So we've got to be able to speak a language that our kids can grab and understand that it can work in their lives, that nonviolence is something that truly can work in their lives, that love is about compassion. It is not a feeling. It is deeper than that. It is really going against the injustices in the world and figuring out how to do it in a profound and impactful and loving way, because we don't have to stand up for injustices. We stand up for justice, but every child has the capacity to do that, but they've got to believe they can. So I think this book is going to set the platform to give them the tools they need to understand it first, and then put that understanding into action. And with that action, we can create the transformative change that the world needs right now, and not just our country, but the world. And that's why I love this global movement. It is about changing the world, and we can do it.
That's right. We definitely can. And with children, especially, anytime the world changes, you just peek behind the curtain and you will see that there was a large segment of young people that were part of that change. So Zoe, you are an illustrator, and you have to take words and translate them into images. So how did these words speak to you as you were, reading them to create these? Let me tell you something. You've done a phenomenal job with your illustration. So tell us, how did they speak to you?
I tend to seek out projects that are positive and love and happiness. So when Kim brought this project to me and I started to read up and learn about Be Love and the whole movement and learning about you and everything, it gave me an opportunity to help be part, to contribute to getting the word out. And so, I did base the character off of you and pictures of you over the years. So it's loosely based on you and to your likeness and to carry the story throughout. So yeah, that was the intention. I was glad that was picked up on. And I don't know, I'm just blessed and so thrilled and honored to be part of this. And, through pictures, a lot of times the kids are looking at the pictures as the parents are reading the words. So it's important that the pictures portray what's being, said. So
and pictures do speak 1,000 words. And so thank you for the thousands of words that you will be speaking through this project. So what are we hoping to accomplish, Kim, through this project? You probably already said it. We want to infect the world with love, and we want young people to really be the ones. The Bible says, "And a little child shall lead them." Even though we talk about children can't lead anybody, but it seems like we're at that point now where we may need the children to lead us with love.
Yeah, absolutely. The goal is, and Dr. King, we've talked about this, the goal is to really make this a part of our learning for our young people, part of their curriculum. How do we teach these things along with everything else we've got to teach in the school? We need to infuse this Be Love concept into math and science and social studies and all of the things that our kids have to learn as part of the core understanding of academics, but also understanding that this character building is also a part of that academic growth. Because how can you learn to be to come to school and make good grades if you're not responsible? How do you learn to work with the peers in the classroom and really get something going when the teacher gives instructions if you don't know how to love and work together as a team? So this is going beyond the academics, and it is creating a beautiful layer on top of everything they have to do. So the curriculum is the next thing. We got to get that curriculum out there so that schools and teachers and even districts and all over the world, academics understands that this has to be infused in what they're already doing. We're not giving you more work. We're not adding to anything other than adding more depth to what you're already doing. So that's the beauty of it.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both so much for your contributions, both to now and the future. So thank you, Zoe and Dr. Johnson.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, Dr.
Thank
King,
you.
for the
Thank
vision.
you. Yes, excited.
Yeah, you know, Dr. King, nobody had to tell me nothing. I knew that the illustration was inspired by you. Ain't nobody had to tell me nothing. But no, that's remarkable. Really, what we know is that whoever has access to the minds of young people has exponential jurisdiction over the future. And so this book, as a contribution to this Be Love shift, really is claiming jurisdiction for the future, right? We can see the contours of the future, if you will, in the faces of those Gen Zers and now Generation Alpha. I don't know what comes after Alpha, but the contours of the future, right. The contours of the future reside in them. So this is a remarkable intervention in that space.